All right, guys, we're back. Today's the 31st of August, 21. So there is some good news. And, it's tough. You've lived it. Me too. You have to navigate with the media sometimes because they don't always tell you or they'll leave things out. And they are merchants of chaos. Yeah, they are troublemakers. They create conflict. The majority, half, I don't know. They're winning on that. There's individuals you've seen that you like and you know they're good. I can name some too. The good news is now Biden pulled out. This is a very subtle overview. And it's a truth, so it'll indicate. He pulled out of this Afghanistan thing after 20 years and $2 trillion and all those lives lost. Yeah, the Bush guys went in there in 2001 to attack those that gave us the karma that we had coming. We got hit on 9/11. A new wrong, terroristic in nature. I got all that, but it happened to us, not Italy, Japan, or the Eskimos, right? Yeah, some people said, hey, look, after 50 years of you, the Congress, allowing yourselves to be bribed, right, to send billions over here in the Middle East to attack us when there is no conflict, you see, wag the dog, that kind of war thing, a lot of money in warring. So that's how 9/11 happened. Who the guys were, it doesn't matter. That's how it happened, okay? So Bush goes in to punish those people that paid us back for what we were doing for 50 years. Come on. And that's what happened. So now Biden has his Secretary of State doing first. So the Biden people pulled out. Guess what? The good news is, and I'll tell you also the other side, you'll recognize it. It's called telling the whole truth. But it's good news. He stopped warring. The U.S. is not doing warring, okay? Others, whoa. And the Secretary of State said, yeah, we're going to deal in diplomacy. That's Blinken. You can't beat that. He goofed up some other thing. He made an error. He said, yeah, we were in there for 20 years, and we got what we wanted to do. We went after the people that did 9/11 and got Osama bin Laden. No, you didn't. You didn't get the people that did 9/11. No. You got the people you were pretending were. No, he had nothing. He was that rich guy. He had $600 to $800 million from his family, and he was willing to live in tents and caves to fight. You see, yeah, you didn't get the who. He was fighting the who. That's you. You and I were the who. Yeah, we were the who. But we're good. Just like you can be a parent and have goofed up, but you're still good, so you get rolling in the good way, you see? The past doesn't exist. Sometimes you have to make up the damage and all that. We'll get to that, but you know all that. So the good thing is, guys, this is really fun. So he made a mistake, Blinken is saying, and, the generals had pulled out thinking that was whatever, done for a purpose for 20 years. But it cost $2 trillion, so many thousand lives, 40,000 of military and 60,000 of civilians. What kind of stuff is that? So you pulled out. That's amazing. And I have a little surprise for you here. Information I get, it's available publicly. Sorry about the mask, guys. This information is available publicly. I got it all publicly. I'm just going to help you to package it. Sorry about the mask. Okay, so the good news is he said, Blinken, the Secretary of State, says, yeah, we're done. We're going to deal diplomatically. Wow! That's called, instead of murdering, we're going to talk and work things out. What you didn't know, unless you're the ones that saw this, was that Lester Holt, was interviewing Richard Engel, wow, often a merchant of chaos, but actually forced to say something. They're talking to the head of the Taliban, who wants new chapters, and with the U.S. to open embassies. Yeah. And now the women, well, what about this abusing of women you guys do? And they had. No, that's the old guys. That's wrong. Those women, they are our sisters. You see? He said it was wrong. He didn't just say, we don't do that anymore. He said it was wrong. Get the interview. What an interview. Yeah. That's the old regime. So, it's just amazing. So well done on Richard Engel telling that part to Lester Holt. I think that was the interview, okay? Wow. Yep. And the Taliban worked right with the U.S. to get those people out. You were lied to. You were giving snippets and all their bad. Then you got some crock-a-cock guy telling you, oh, it's all not going to last. Look at what they did before. They won't keep their word. No, people. The guy's telling you that doesn't have any word of his own. He's never kept his word, okay? Until he changes his mind now. Yeah, they're saying claim to have changed. Yeah, the guy on Axios, this Lawler guy saying, oh, well, that's a claim, this, that, whatever. Guys, don't buy it. No, don't buy it. So that's the good news. I got to tell you. No, I'm not even a Democrat. I'm independent now. I used to be a Republican for 130 million years. Now I'm an independent, so I can be free to tell the truth. You got to, and by God, Biden's a moderate. You got to really give this such imperfect person and this such imperfect group, they're imperfect. Give them credit. No more of that crap. A lot of that was food money that people in the U.S. could have used because they were choked by their own country. No, the good news is, I'm telling you, and Biden even said he's just going to be the between guy. He won't even be running again. He wanted to get things straightened out. He's linking countries back together. Yeah. I got to tell you, people, I can't tell you how great. And I've told you in these other talks, I just get blown away by his incredibly beautiful wife, Dr. Jill Biden. Jill Biden. Wow. Oh, what an angel. What a God's angel. Oh. And then she has to be Jewish, so we get to talking about our Jews again. We sound, I know, biased and partial for Jews. Yeah. No, for the greatness that they've done. And the India people, how about the kid from India? He's a professor, he's 8. The grad school is clapping, welcoming him. He's coming down the stairs. There's a rows of people on each side. He's coming down the stairs from those classrooms, and they're clapping, welcoming the new professor. Was that guy the one that's 8, or is he the one that was 12? They got one that's 8. Yeah. Well, it means he brought it from another life. He didn't have to learn it all again. Anyway, so India has some of that too, that exceptionalism. All of you do. All of you have. We'll get to that. We've talked about this before. The unbelievable homework, I wish I could claim it was mine, that someone did, that we're going to keep sharing with you in these talks. We're going to mix it. We're going to mix it. Good news. I'm not being nice or oh gosh, sounding like some other thing before. Oh, no. This is like nothing for the last 20 years. And you need this. Even Trump, you heard it, I heard it. That's why some stick with him. They don't like the but they sure like some of the platform he had, right? Yeah, we're just take a look at. They like some of the platform. He said no more of those fake wars, but he wasn't really the president. No, he had some people in the West Wing that kind of controlled. If you Google Trump shadow president, you'll see. Yeah. So there's so many things that I've been just, how can you say, less than gifted to know. And I'm bursting with them. I want to tell you them. These are little talks timed for an hour, lucky you. And I can't give them all. So just keep on gabbing. What do you call that? They call them live stream or podcast. You see on YouTube or on Facebook. These people are in the car driving. We're in a car sitting. We're on the edge of civilization. Beautiful downtown, the edge of wilderness, Palm Beach, Florida. Only we're not driving, we're parked. We're a remote, on location. Yep. So they're on Facebook and YouTube while driving. They're talking to you. They call it a podcast or live stream, whatever that fancy stuff is, right? They're telling you something, and they don't have to be structured or planned. Phew, lets us off the hook. Yeah. Anyway, so we're here doing one of those, only we're parked. Yeah. You could say because we're older and don't want to crash, but nah, it's not. It's not because we're older. No. Anyway, the good news is, and by the way, guys, we've been doing this a long time. I've worked with a few of the people where Biden is sitting, and for the last umpteen years, you can do that. You can volunteer in D.C., get on a committee, be paid staff, run for office. Hey, welcome. It's called work. Oi. So we've done a little of that, obviously not very much, or not well enough, but anyway, Joe Biden, he's the guy, not me, not someone else. He is amazing. I can tell you who I worked with, and you'll know those people. and the great things they've done. Yeah, I'm comparing him. Yes, I am. Oh, how unpopular, how politically incorrect. And our beloved friends on Fox News, oh my God, they're saying, oh this, oh this. No, no, no. Hey, guess what? Oh this, oh that, what? The war is over. The fake invented war, it's over. Trump, bless him, ran on that. No more of that. Yeah. He tried, but he was owned, okay? He was owned, he knew it, yeah. He can change his mind, but it's not easy, it's not easy. It's like once you've joined the mafia, you can't leave. That's an example. I've known who some of those are, haven't you? I'll tell you what, some of those are a lot better than, meaning they're not as bad as some of the people linked with Trump. And Biden has a few that parachuted right down his West Wing. They're imperfect. Got all that. Let me tell you something. He called the shots. It's over. And he only has one more thing to do so the old planet doesn't get blown up. Yeah. Yeah, it's in the Middle East. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's really, we'll get to that later, he's something else. I'm so proclaiming, exclaiming, raving, whatever you want to call it. Wow, that's quiet compared to, that's mouse whisper compared to the kaboom and kabangs you've had in the wars. Yeah, and how they got people, it's over 100,000, 113 or 123,000, it's 100 something, low hundreds, flown out of there, boom, boom, all our planes, and some of our own airline planes, and other countries jumped in. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Yep. So that's the biggest thing, to stop warring. But he does have one more thing that he has to do. Just as you know, I mean, there was a movie called Wag the Dog, right? Where the tail wags the dog, It was about inventing wars, like the industrial military complex, that's what they call it. They pay a lot of money to Congress, to get billions to build bombs and stuff. Guys, I was in the Marines. I know the deal, okay? Don't tell me, I know the deal. No better than you know the deal. Those of you who know it, and I don't know it any better than you know it. No. You don't even have to have been in to know it. In fact, being in it was nuts compared. One of the best guys to talk is Jesse Ventura. Remember, he was the governor of Minnesota, right? Before that, he was Jesse the Body, the wrestler. Before that, he was a Navy SEAL. Yeah. And he did his 6 years of SEAL duty. He came out and just said nicely and politely once. He just said it was all a fraud. A fraud. That's what Joe Biden's just saying. Yeah. Jesse said it nicely and politely. Yeah. We don't want to argue with him. Yeah. What he did and his group was a fraud. But that's then. And Biden just said that was then, the last 20 years. You're out. No more. You'd be surprised what the media isn't telling you. And I'm just giving you my hunch, or is it my little certainty? Sorry about the math. I think you're going to see a whole lot of people line up to that. Yeah. And we talked in these other talks about a remarkable permanent solution to no more wars until people each get a little freer. How do you handle a country? The individuals. You clean up each individual of the junk they're carrying and they're not aware of. No, the good part of the guy, that's the guy. You know him and all the goodies. No, it's the things that aren't good and we aren't aware of, and those are layers of life, and you can get rid of those. Yeah, it's just fantastic. People, I'm so excited. I'm flipping back to Biden now. Man, he never got any help from me. Well, maybe a little bit. Okay. Anyway, and Miss America, his beautiful vice president, this imperfect woman. Wow. You know what she said in the debates when the Democrat candidates were there up on stage and trying to see who would do the best job? You know what she said? This is how you really know about some. She cut the crap. She said one thing. The takeaway with Kamala Harris was, people, when I tell you what it is, you'll understand it. It's not anyone trying to PR you. She said, we have a whole lot more in common than not. That is what Kamala Harris is about. And some errors. I know all about her errors. Not yours and mine, but hers. Yeah. She only made one that I know of, actually two. Yeah. Her mom's a surgeon from India, and her dad's an economic professor from Jamaica who teaches at Stanford. Excuse me. Yeah. And she's a little girl raised in Oakland. She puts on her little girl boxing gloves. She's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And Dr. Jill Biden, I can't start talking about her. I only call her that because these psychos, these slime balls, somehow get airtime to say, why do you call her doctor? I don't have to call. I think she's just incredibly beautiful, Jill Biden, but she has a PhD. She's a teacher. She's still teaching. They said, listen, when you get into the White House, you won't be able to do all that stuff. Why not? She didn't do it for show. You don't even know she's doing it. She's still teaching. Why? Because she likes to teach. Oh, man, I got stories about her that I read. Oh, you've got some good stuff there, people. Yeah. And back to this Tony Blinken, Secretary of State, the Yale guy. And yeah, first time I heard him talk, I thought, wow, this guy is, he can talk. Made some errors, yeah. The biggest one coming up, I alluded to earlier, there's only one more thing Biden has to do, actually two. Just, make a change on. Yeah. Yeah, so, I'm just celebrating for you guys. I'm sort of emphasizing to the exterior. As this great writer Hubbard wrote, he said, ignore the losses. That makes sense. As the tip. And then separately, and later he says, hey, ignore the confusions, or that's what they are, they're confused, and focus on the stability. Things are stable. You're out of it. Oh, how horrible, we're going to kill them. No, you flew them all out. There's some still there, yeah, but you don't know what the Taliban are up to. You're being lied to. Somebody says, oh, we left all those weapons. What do you want to do with them? Bring them back? You couldn't in time. Blow them up? I don't know. You think now the enemy will have them, right? No. Read it. Google this thing. It was on the 25th of August. I put down absolutely unbelievable. Lester Holt with Richard Engel. Engel's been over there a long time. He's trying, but he makes some errors. Unbelievable. The Taliban want a new chapter with the U.S. and open embassies. Let the guy tell you. And again, it's interesting. He was asked in the interview, the Taliban guy, so what about women? Look how you guys abuse women. Yes, that was the old regime. That isn't okay. We don't do that, and they are our sisters. Okay? Yeah. Like we've allowed human trafficking and capturing these little kids and making them prostitutes. But hey, so is that what America does? Well, it's been going on here, but we, hey, we aren't allowing that. No. You see? And you people are right that we had it going on. We aren't perfect. There's some sections that were handled. We got all that, blah, blah. That isn't going to cut it. You see? That's what this guy said. He said it. He didn't say, oh, no, we don't do that. No, he didn't say that. He said, no, that was not okay. Those are the old guys. See, we're here, the new guys. See? Yeah? Hello? Biden's a new guy, by the way. Yeah. Well, you'll have enough to do without the warring people. There'll be plenty of jobs without making bombs. Always have stuff in reserve. Deal from a position of strength. Got all that. Mount Rushmore, 4 guys. Fab 4 at Mount Rushmore. Teddy Roosevelt there had the saying, a borrowed African proverb: speak softly and carry a big stick. Because some guys want to hang around on your way to helping people. They want to dance. Well, go ahead. We can take care of that. But they're helping you people. The people are the majority. Yeah, they're not running that dumb stuff. And he was not the kind of guy to bang around with, I can assure you. But what did he do? He did a Biden. Teddy Roosevelt got the Nobel for stopping the Russian-Japanese war. He grabbed that little Jap guy. They're always little, are they? And that big oof from Russia, Igor or something, both by the nape of the neck. Meet me on the boat. The presidential yacht, little cabin cruiser in the back bay there. Teddy lived in Oyster Bay, Sagamore Hill, right? Summer White House. Put him on the boat. And he said, you know what? Rhetoric is where you tell something and just the telling and it causes an effect. Anyway, he said, isn't that nice? There's no more warring, huh? And of course, we could joke and say, yeah, they got the picture. Unless they're Olympic swimmers, they're not going to have a very good time getting back to shore. No, you didn't do that. No. He knew they were easy to handle. Nah. Once asked, are you a genius? No. Not a genius. Just a worker bee. He was done 2 terms of the presidency just before he turned 50. Youngest ever elected. Yeah, tough guy. Then he got 2 doctorates of international law from Oxford and Cambridge universities. Why? Because he did it Biden. This is what Biden's doing. This is what Tony Blinken's doing. He took those old gray Navy boats, painted them white, and did a tour around the globe, tapping that little walking stick on the side with that little speak softly, and told them all, guys, you're kind of doing good. Carry on. No regime change. Don't interfere with cultures. No. He offered support because, remember, he's in the U.S. That's a bunch of folks from all those other countries that came from countries that didn't want to be abused anymore. So the U.S. is just a bunch of guys from other countries, and he's the guy speaking for him at the time. And he did the little walk, you know? Yeah, he talked it and walked it. Yeah, that's what he did. He took the U.S. from a national level to an international level. He developed the modern day presidency. He built the West Wing, tore down those greenhouses. Oh my God, he's not green. Yeah. And he said of his daughter, baby Alice, I cannot both manage the White House and manage Alice at the same time. Why am I talking about him a lot? If I told you to run, well, you can't. I'm just a fan. I'm an appreciator. Biden reminded me of him. Yeah. Yeah. He pulled you out. Look at the flack he caught. Oh, my God, these guys on Fox are going to tell me about the Taliban. No. The guys caving in peace are the bad guys. And you know what? The guys on Fox, they're not even bad guys. No, I'm relieved to know. No. The guys that do wrongs are not bad people. I didn't know that. They're all good underneath, but their doingness can be a little bad. Yeah. They're carrying baggage. It's theirs. They are not those layers, but they are their layers. And Biden isn't doing that. Thank you. Oh, this imperfect guy. I don't want to hear it. Why do I say I? Well, you'll see. I'm just here to help you guys, you know. Most everything I have, I got online. You know, the news is online, you know. Yeah. So, guys, we're here to tell you, you know. And of this, to point out, ignore the confusions, because they're being thrown at Biden. Yeah. Impeach? My God, he just got you unlocked. Unlocked. Yeah, $2 trillion it costs. $2 trillion. You had a candidate running for Democrat there. She was in that panel, Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii. She dropped out later and pulled away from the Democrat Party. She didn't like some of the kind of socialistic things, you know, so she's independent. But she's Tulsi Gabbard, that incredibly beautiful thing from Hawaii. 38 years old. She's a congresswoman or something like that. Isn't that what she is? Yeah. And she did 2 tours in Iraq. She's a colonel in the Air Force or something like that. Yeah. Which is now the Air National Guard, right? Yeah. She was over there in the medical division. And she asked a local one day in Iraq, you know, we invaded, remember, Iraq and Iran, about the sign. She'd go by this sign every day. The sign says, is this the day? So she asked a local, you know, a human, the kind that she can relate to, the kind we kill, you know. Could I ask you what that sign means? Is this the day? And the local said, is this our last day? Tulsi Gabbard is sitting there with people wondering, is this the last day, the bribed U.S. bombing psychotic group? You know, is this the last day Tulsi's people are going to let her live? People, you got to step aside from it, step above it, and get her going. Well, some have. A lot of you have. What you didn't know, and I didn't know, there's actually a lot you can do. You voted. That's a big thing. Yeah. I can tell you some errors that are being made in the voting thing. The Republicans and this Florida governor, they've passed laws in states to block the Democrat-type, blue-collar type areas from voting. You know, making, right? But if he knew, this DeSantis guy in Florida, and I'm just borrowing, lucky to know about this stuff, guys. If he knew what I'm going to tell you, he could get all the Democrat votes. When I tell you what it is, you'll know why. He'll get your vote too. He's the guy saying, oh my God, what's this thing about putting masks on kids? At least give the moms it. Yeah, it's crazy. He's so right there. 1 forward, 10 back like Trump. Yeah, he's a bully animal, yeah. Not he the being, but his doingness is. And here's what he can do. Instead of blocking people from voting, they pass laws to block people from voting. Yeah. It's shot down in some states, others. Oh. What you do is, Trump even knew about it. One of the 4 points of the Trump program was to get rid of the IRS, get rid of the income tax, and just have a sales tax. No, not a flat tax, that's an income. Just have a sales tax. With no income tax, you got all your money. All your money. Oh, so now you can buy stuff. When you buy stuff, you pay sales tax, right? But you boom the economy, there's more jobs. Yeah. Other countries will follow. Because one of the tricks that's being played on the so-called little guy to hate the big guy, and there are abuses of big guys, put those aside. One of the tricks played on the little guy in making him hate the big guy, one of the tricks is to get him tricked out of his own dream. Every little and middle guy wants to be big. And you're cutting it by having him be taxed. The number one cause of a failing national prosperity is the personal income tax. It runs a can't-have on the citizens. They can't have things. It isn't true the more you make, the more you're taxed. No, that's not true. No, the more you make, the greater percent you're taxed. Ooh, that's real true. You don't think taxes are bad? When Reagan went from being an actor to the governor, he was a moderate Democrat from a small town in Illinois, like Abe Lincoln. Then he became a moderate Republican. When you can't tell the difference, I like that. The tax bracket for income, they didn't have the talk of billionaires back then, and that's assets. We're talking about income. The bracket for the professionals was 91%. 91%. Why bother? He got in, as president, brought it down to 45. That's not bad. Young Bush took it to 39.5, and Trump did get it to 37, something like that. Yeah. Wow. It's still horrible. That's why these companies that you're made to hate, and they do some wrongs too, sent their jobs elsewhere because there's no tax there. You did that. I did that. Got tricked no more. Biden's even going to take it easy on this taxing thing. That's one of the areas they had to work on because the Democrats were known as tax and spend. They're taxing themselves out. Remember, they put a tax on luxury things. Boats and cars, 10% extra tax on a car for just $100,000 or more. In a boat, it is, right? Well, people stopped buying them, right? Guess what? All those Democrats, blue-collar workers that make them and ship them, lost their jobs. Get it? So the number one cause of a failing in national prosperity is the personal income tax that runs a can't-have on people. You can't have things, right? And the people end up running a can't-have on themselves. L. Ron Hubbard. By the way, if this is good, is it bad? I really love the desperation to demonize good things. Wow. Yeah. Martin Luther King was quite a guy. Somebody made the comment he wasn't a welfare pimp, okay? A senator made the comment. He said, I have a dream when all of God's children can play together, you see? And he took a beating. There were threats on his life, and they finally killed him. He was a good guy. And some of the people that marched along with him were literally beaten by people you and I know. Some white honkies beat him with clubs. That John Lewis guy that just died, he was one of those, yeah. They fought for your freedom, yeah. Don't tell me about the veterans overseas that fought. No, these guys right here in this country fought for your freedom. The Fab Four at Mount Rushmore, and some not as famous. Some people like you fought for your freedom, yeah. Yep. Just stand up and communicate. It has an effect. Just your presence without even talking with your good intention actually displaces junk that others are carrying. They aren't the junk, but it's their junk. So, the income tax, if Ron DeSantis got that good, because he's a big bull, he's a big tough guy, all Harvard lawyer. Well, some of us went to that college, but we don't have to be bullies and that kind of thing, you know. He's the perfect guy to get that tax. Or Trump talked of it. Replace the IRS with the sales tax. It's called the fair tax. Yeah. It starts out about 13% of what you buy until the national debt is worked down to zero. Then it's about 10. Oh, people went and mashed it and crashed it. Remember, Einstein, besides 1 and 1 is 2, he actually said, hey, remember, a negative person will always find a problem in every solution. He'll bring pollution to the solution. I put that in. Yeah, I like him. He also said something else. He said, I do not know what weapons will be used to fight World War III. I do know that World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Right. So that's another little thing we'll be doing. We, the people. Yeah. See, well, back to we, the fair tax. That's been around for about 30 years, but a lot of people bribe the congressman to not let that happen because part of the industry of accounting and all this stuff and selling things based on tax brackets, whatever. Okay, good. Anyway, that's going to happen. DeSantis is a perfect guy. He's a good being underneath. By the way, the discovery, wish I could say I did this. This is what I'm borrowing from. Mentioned earlier, people doing the so-called bad guy. No, they're not bad guys. They're doing bad things, some of them. That all beings are basically good. Basically, originally. How can you be bad before you decided to be? What? What's that? You know, born in sin. Well, why feel guilty about something you haven't done? Haven't had a first spoonful of pablum yet. I don't know that I killed anybody. What's up? Yeah, you see? That religion that talks that also does a lot of good things. Yes, born in sin, huh? Yeah, really? Says who? What kind of a bucket is that? So, none of these guys. So, a person is originally, at the start, basically, at the origin, good. Then there's still the same person underneath. But the proof, a sideways proof, this Hubbard guy wrote, that beings are good is when they do something that they consider, should they do something that they consider isn't okay, they will work against the self to stop the self from further harming others. A self-created hit to rid the self of guilt. Karma is not just what goes around, comes around. No. It's the self disagreeing, and it arranges to stop the self. That's why he says, you are the jailer. You're the one that puts you in jail. But we forget we did those things. We'll stop ourselves. Like we'll get sick or have an accident and we'll forget we arranged that and we'll say, woe is me. You know, the guy on crutches, he says, walking on crutches is advertising, I'm guilty of what? The crutches? No, of doing a crutch-like thing to others, so I needed to have one for me. Yeah. It's proof I'm good. Yeah. I hate crutches. Oh, I hate them. We're wearing this mask fashionably because COVID days, you have all that stuff, that little game, where if you have a lot of equity, a lot of stock in a vax company, you want to sell vaccines. Making healthy people be afraid of healthy people. Oh, Trump was so correct there, so was DeSantis, but each of them, 1 forward, 10 back. Yeah. What are you picking on Biden for? The Trump people got him elected. Yeah. So, we're wearing this mask because it's fashionable, not because we had a wreck. Recreational activities had a crash, an equine accident. Must not have been very good, So, it takes a year for the dental, for the implants, about a year to get those done. So we're sparing the look. You can get, they say teeth in a day. Seen the ads? Those are dentures, temporary dentures. And so that's that. That's why the great mass. That's part of the reason. So there you go. So on the 25th of August, Lester Holt is at the NBC. I don't know. Guy. And Richard Engel, the guy's been on assignment over the Middle East forever, the Taliban leader. He wants a new chapter. He's the new guy, yeah. And to open embassies with the U.S. Wow! So, guys, I know I'm repeating, but let me tell you something. And so, well, what about the women you guys abuse or have abused? Yes, that was not okay. He didn't say we don't do it. He said, no, that's not okay. And we're the new guys, and we don't do that. And they are our sisters, you see. Let them be. Quit attacking. Don't inspect before the fact. Yeah. People are attacking, saying they claim to have changed. What? He sure as hell changed a lot more than the guy doing the attacking. Yeah. He needs to make a little change. So there you go, people. That's it. I borrowed from this guy, Hubbard. This guy here, L. Ron Hubbard, you know. Such a desperation to demonize. Like they have to demonize the Taliban. See, Trump said something very great before he was elected. Big interview with Bill O'Reilly. Google it. O'Reilly says, Trump, you say Putin is a good guy, but Putin's a killer. And Trump says, hey, Google it. Cool. Lots of killers out there, comma, you don't think that we're so innocent, do you? Unquote. What did he just say? He doesn't like killing. He's saying we've done wrong, but we're good people. Let's get going. Yeah, you see? And Putin, he's not the one promoting nukes. No. Nor is Iran. That's all crap to make you hate Iran, to take your attention away from the person that is the threat over there. Yeah. Yeah. So besides Biden's recent incredible thing of stopping that war, we're going to tell you the method to have all of them do that. Some will just do it because of him. Bless him. Good. And then two other things he has to do. So back to this Hubbard guy, you see, there's such a desperation to demonize the guy. I don't have a desperation to demonize anybody because, thank God, he's the one that discovered. And by the way, why should somebody else have to discover something about you and me? That all beings are basically originally good. If they are, then they're still the same being, and again, they'll disagree with their own stuff. He says, we're always our own worst executioner, far worse than anyone else would. So he investigated psychiatry because of the drugging and electroconvulsive shocking and lobotomizing and all that stuff, treating us as lab animals, you know. It's so normalized and pop culturized, yeah. They have 1 in 5 of every one of you and everyone that you know, 1 in 5 of those, from preteen age to age 65, just that bracket alone. 1 in 5 of everyone in the U.S. are on psychiatric drugs, a chemical lobotomy, taking you apart. A chemical straitjacket. Yep. They're so normalized and pop culturized. So there's a great group sponsored by the Scientology people. Not founded, no. Sponsored. CCHR, Citizens Commission on Human Rights. A renowned psychiatrist in Austria, Dr. Thomas Zaz, S-Z-A-S-Z, was the founder, and then Scientology helped him. Wrote 2 books. One, The Myth of Mental Illness, and the other, The Manufacture of Madness. And in there he says, the only way you can possibly harm someone is to take them to a psychiatrist. But actually, a bunch of psychiatrists have come forth. They're on the website, CCHR. They've come forth, these psychiatrists, very decent guys with an actual heart and a soul and trying, yeah, and saying those psychiatrists make up those disorders in their mind to get the insurance money. And then when it runs out, the guy's left on the street, both an addict and believing bipolar, or the toenail, or you know, mathematics disorder, you know, and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's interesting. So that's why the noise about. They are the sponsors of people to talk against Hubbard. We're not representing Hubbard. They wouldn't know we're doing this show, obviously. No, we're just one of the guys in the car, you know? One of the car guys. Yeah, we're car guys. Yep. Okay. So, and he's not a science fiction writer, and that's not science fiction. That's all crap. Look at that crap. Huh? You know, a guy at Harvard told the girl, and the girl told me, it wasn't part of, but It was told on campus. That's how I found out about Scientology. Yeah. No, it's not a religion. No, it's a philosophy, which means pursuit of knowledge. Okay? And it's an applied philosophy because it has a methodology of counseling. So it's an applied religious philosophy because it addresses you as a spirit rather than as a lab animal, the body. And it doesn't introduce any, nor, it doesn't cancel or add any beliefs. And it's only called a religion, actually, because of the oldest and truest definition going way back that addresses you as the spirit. There you go. What does it mean? Skio. Skio. S-C-I-O, skio, is the root for science. Skio means knowing in the fullest sense. Knowing in the fullest sense. Look it up. Ology, study up. So study of knowingness, knowing how to know things, not being told or asked to believe. Wow, I'm for that. Nothing wrong with beliefs, but this is a good deal, right? So, it's a method to unpeel life's layers. It was Buddha, Buddha, that's a soundbite. Chubby little guy, Gautama Siddhartha is his name. Sorry, Buddha did something for the common guy. This is a big thing. Shh. He got the commoner to be, outside of his body a few feet looking at it. What? What? I'm not that? I'm not a thing, I can't die. That's a big thing. To become, no, you can't become. You already are. He got people to realize they're not. He got them to realize it. They're not the body. They have a body, goes 100, right? But he didn't have a method back then to unpeel life's layers. So they snapped back in. The only difference is this Hubbard guy developed something that unpeels life's layers. They have only one thing, and that is a method that can enable you. All they do is enable you to find out things that you already know. I have no idea. How do I know how your day went? Even if you're here in the same room having coffee, I don't know how your day went. Who do you need to be telling you what's going on for you? Nobody knows that. Even people in the family don't know. You each are individuals. But at least you know better than some outsider. The difference is psychiatry tells the person what's wrong. Scientology lets the person tell. Golly, that's a difference. I'm having that. And also, what's the definition of psychiatry? Psyche means spirit. Ology, study of, right? Study of spirits. Boy, I'm having that, right? Well, if they're studying spirits, picking spirits, why do they take a physical thing, a drug, to give to a physical thing, a body, to solve a spirit? Oh! And just for fun, to show you, I used to call it the India rope trick. It's not a trick. No, the commoners along the street, on a dirt road, they're not magicians. They don't have, they all do. They can just look at a piece of rope and intend it goes up and it goes up. Well, we're not here promoting ropes too much, especially if they're for hanging. But what happened there? He didn't use a physical thing to move a physical thing. Yeah, take it easy. This is a big gulp. Don't go big gulping. Little bit. The little bit that you can find out, not be told or asked to believe about this stuff. Free courses online, actually. Free. You will be on the floor in pain laughing when you rediscover things. They're yours. You have a right to them. Yeah? You have a right to them. Yeah. So, another thing. You ever heard about this? Have you ever had it be where you thought of someone and the phone rang? Who? Don't pick on me. It's happened to you, right? Well, there's only two things I can think of there, right? You just knew. You picked up they were going to call you as a being, were in common with them, or they picked up that you were thinking about them, and they called you. I'm not talking about someone calling you. People call you. No, I said, have you ever thought of someone, and then they called? You put the thought there, whatever. I don't know. That's what we're talking about. You. Now, we've been told we're a meat, a lab animal, meat body. Yeah, well, we have one. We're told you are what you eat. Really? Well, I suppose the diet can help the body or not, right? But are you the food in the body? I don't know. And they say you only go around once, right? Yeah. Well, I was thinking this body, they only last till 100. How could it go around again? What kind of a crap thing is that? Actually, it's a trick to tell you to survive. Because you can't not survive because you're a being. You want the body to survive, yeah. And they tell us, doctors say, we're using about 1/100th of the brain, right? Right? Well, they're calling you a lab animal, part of a meat body. Actually, you're using about, and this number is important, you'll find out, about 1/1000th of the beingness that you used to use, but it's still there underneath. You can get it a little bit at a time. Don't push it. No. I guarantee you, if you try a little of that counseling, the Scientology, and just unpeel a little bit of life's layers, you will be on the floor. It's the only thing I'll leave on. You will be on the floor in pain, laughing. Yeah. By the way, the counseling, yeah, everybody has the same overhead. You'd have to pay by the hour. No, forget it. They don't want to sell you that. Take the class. Take a course, cheaper than paying for the counseling, and you and your friend counsel each other. Oh, it's a very precisely done little number. Oh, better believe it. Oh, yeah, but you can do it. Yeah. Then you counsel each other. It's free. Free. You have to pay for the class, yeah. There's free courses online, right? It's not a money thing. Now, when you get to the upper levels, you'd have to pay for that hour, yeah. Oh, you'll want to. No, you won't do it because I said so. No, I said you'll want to. And they must be affordable or people would do it. There's 7.3 billion people on the planet, roughly, right? And a very small percent know about this stuff. But that's a few million people. And if it's so bad, how come they ain't protesting? Yeah. I came up with this fun thing one day I'm going to share. I could say this to you. By the way, I know we've been hopping around different things, but we're just ad-libbing, But they all get back to one thing. You. Yeah. I came up with this because, life can be tough, or you can have a bad day or week, month, year, get down in the dumps, and things aren't working. So some things aren't right, some things are wrong, right? So those kind of things, right? So from that, I could ask this question. So something's wrong with you, right? Yeah. Obviously things aren't working perfectly, right? They used to, and then they aren't, or it seems like they never will get rolling, whatever, right? So something's wrong with you. Okay. So I have this question. Do you know what's wrong with you? Relative to those things or anything. Do you know what's wrong with you? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with you. Or those guys you know about in the news that do wrong things. No, there's nothing wrong with them. The doingness may not be so good. And there are layers of life we didn't know we have. Some more, some less, some this or that. Yeah. You see? Yeah. Because all of them, forget are basically good. Remember? All people are basically originally good, right? But as they go through time, they gather things, and some they're not aware of, and some tend to treat others the way they were treated, and that's what you're seeing. Well, it's not okay. A bully, by the way, is defined as someone who was bullied, and then he adopted the beingness of the bully. We aren't here to okay bullying. We're here to bring understanding so we don't add more bullying. A lot of cops are really good. They'll just say, come on, guys, simmer down, geez, you see. And others get frustrated, especially if they see someone beating up a 3-year-old girl. I don't think it's only a cop that gets frustrated. Come on. You got to stop from hitting her the next swing. That real estate is going by a little quickly. Isn't a lot of time for a good chair side or a warm and fuzzy. But slow it up, restrain it, and then they might attack you. Well, then you have to deal accordingly in life. Things you have to handle some. Anyway, the good news is I like this guy, Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard. Okay? Yep. This book is called Introduction to Scientology Ethics. Ethics and survival are used interchangeably in that book. An ethical decision is a survival-like decision. A survival-like decision is an ethical decision. So don't worry about being good. In fact, he says in there, we're not trying to make people good boys and girls. No. Mm-mm. We're trying to get at them to be responsible. For what? Their actions? No. No. For their own actions and those of others until others can get back. Notice I said get back to rolling. Yeah, that's what Biden's doing. Oh, he pays a price. Look at the people hacking, all these Fox, all these biased people. My God. You know? They're biased. Well, they're carrying junk. But it's their junk, and they are responsible if they're in the limelight, you know. But Joe Biden did a wonderful thing. It's just amazing. And Tony Blinken picked up on it. He said, hey, we're out. And we're into diplomacy. Now, all he has to handle, there's two things left. And one is far more serious than even that Afghan thing. That only became serious because suddenly they're moving out, right? It's old. The scene in occupied Palestine. Two of the greatest people that you'll ever have for a friend, Ben and Jerry, the ice cream company. They're the largest, 807 million, right? Ben and Jerry, they're Jews. Really? Oh, they're Jews with a heart and soul. Oh, what? I always thought Jews had hearts and souls. They said, that's it. We've closed our plant in occupied Palestine, and no more sales. And they're attacked. It's anti-Semite. What's anti-Semite? Anti-Cement? Or what's anti-Semite? No one said anti-Jews, right? Well, they are Jews, so they're not against Jews. No, they're against murder, genocide, apartheid, open-air prison, stealing people's homes, beating people on American dollars. That is United States, and they call them Zion. The rabbis over there, I like this. The stereotypical rabbi, you know, with a gray beard and the glasses and the funny hat, right? Two of them, see this thing there? They're over in a hospital in Palestine, helping some Palestine farmer who was beaten brutally, just yanked off his own farm because of this weaponized Bible real estate guy that says we can do this. Really? Going to take Iowa too? Huh? So these rabbis, you know, with a heart and a soul. Well, that's an oxymoron. Of course they got a heart and a soul. They hold up a sign saying Zionism is not Judaism. They're Jews. Ben and Jerry's. They are your hope. They're the first public, notable ones that are, you know, of some size or in business that have taken a step. And here our governor of Florida, who has taken official Florida business activities and conventions and moved them over and held them in Israel on taxpayer money. He's actually attacking the Ben and Jerry's guys for being against murder. There's a parent company to Ben and Jerry's now called Unilever or some company like that, right? So he's saying, we, Florida, where we do business and stuff, we will not do business with any of their people. Will not buy their products. Unilever owns things besides the ice cream company. Can you imagine your Florida governor is against people that are against murder, torture, bombing? Yeah. So that's it. The United States of Zion occupying. Yeah. Occupying Palestine. You know, they were saying, oh, God told some prophet Abraham 2,700 years ago. Well, I'm glad. I like to talk to God too. We need some water and stuff for the crops. God told this Abraham guy 2,700 years ago that 2,700 years later, like now, he can just go in and kill people and steal their lands because it says so in the Bible. The weaponized Bible. Really, that's what they're saying. And Trump's son-in-law made the deal called the Abraham Accord. Guys, why do you think 9/11 happened? Huh? Yeah. A new wrong, yep, terroristic in nature. I got all that. More of the downward spiral, got all that. We try to maintain IQs of room temp and above, you know. But it happened to us in Italy, Japan, or the Eskimos, right? You see? Those people over there said, hey, Baba, we've had enough. You've been bending over, Mr. Congress, taking bribes for $17 billion a year of American food money going over to those Zion guys. That's what they're calling them, Zionists. To murder. It doesn't matter if Norway bribes Congress for 50 years for billions a year, like our 17 billion a year they're taking. To go to Norway and beat up Sweden after 50 years, the Swedes or their friends came over and said, hey, here's a shot for you. You see? Yeah. You see? That's why it happened. Valerie Plame, this very good-looking woman, that they kicked out of the CIA. They claimed she was having an affair. What? They wouldn't take her out for that. They wouldn't put that in the news to discredit her. This guy named Scooter Libby, Trump's buddy, he pardoned a real criminal, just got out of prison for whatever the hell, right? Good guy underneath was doing criminal things, right? Said, oh, this blonde Valerie Plame, remember some years ago? Oh, she's in the CIA and had an affair. What a crock of crap. She and her boyfriend both were separated long term. They just altered the story. Because she said one thing. The Jews in America led the U.S. into every war they've been in. Well, the rabbis say it a little better. The rabbis say those are Zionists. Because, see, remember, Cubans didn't kill Cubans. Castro did. That's not being a Cuban. Jews didn't kill Jews. Hitler did, right? Right? But his name was Schicklgruber, a Jew, a house painter. No, it wasn't. Oh, yes, it was. You see, it doesn't matter if it's Norway, guys. Stealing $17 billion a year from your tax money to go to Norway to beat up Sweden after 50 years. It's generic, you know. Anti-Semite. Isn't that what an evil person called his victim who dared to speak up? Isn't that like the bank robber calling the judge anti-Catholic? Or, I mean, yeah. We've done a lot of shows. Are you too nice? You can't be. No, they're called Exceptionalism of the Jewish people I've known. And then some we all kind of know to rattle off our top 10 and favorite entertainers. Bette Midler, Richard Dreyfuss, Steven Seagal, George Segal, Billy Crystal, Robert Williams, Walter Matthau, Jen Hirsch, Jeff Goldblum, Henry Winkler, Paul Newman. Why do we rattle off those names? Why do I do that? Because they're too busy being golden souls. That's my. And loop it back to Bette Midler. We always do. She did a song called From a Distance. You look like my friend, even though we are at war. And on above the bombs and can't comprehend from a distance, God is watching us. Okay, so I always ask two parts. What kind of a person would know about that? Number two, my big one I impose on you people about Bette Midler. What kind of a person would care to tell you? To me, Bette Midler, the most golden of golden souls who ever golden soul. But Ben and Jerry's are that way. And the rabbis are that way. What's up? Jews are up. Hitler wasn't being a Jew, he's being Hitler. That's a nickname. His name is Schicklgruber. I don't care if it's Olsen from Norway or something. Come on. So we're going to get back to you guys on this fair tax plan. And Biden, he just had the new Bennett, the new head of Israel, occupied Palestine, over, giving him orders, telling him they're going to keep on stealing more of Palestine. 9/11, guys. This little Afghanistan thing was in the news, kind of noisy because they suddenly were moving out. That's nothing. That's old. That was all done after you got nailed on 9/11. You see? You wanted to go and hit the wrong people. They didn't do your 9/11. You and I did. We're good people. Trump was right. Yep. So, we're going to show you how to clean it up, and Biden will be doing, I'm giving you a tip, a better way. Like Lincoln said, a diplomatic thing. Yeah, no more U.S. billions to kill people. Ben and Jerry's are the best on the planet today to make the point, to keep you from being blown up. Bless them. They're Jews. They're the best. Bette Midler is a Jew, the best. Yeah, you're the best. We're all the best. Kamala Harris said we have more in common than not. We'll be back. Thanks, guys. It's all going to work out. Biden's doing it. Give him a break. These other